Muhammad Imteyaz Alam, one of the 30 young Muslim new IAS officers of this year. First, congratulations from twocircles.net.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, first question. Who should you give your credit for your success?
The credit must go to my parents, my teachers, my brothers, friends, and all those well-wishers who were always behind me all through this preparation.
You have good degrees of mechanical engineering. After that, you did MBA, Business Administration, and you got good job in Saudi Arabia. Yet you decided to opt for civil services. Why?
Since childhood, I was fascinated about this service. When I reached Aligarh, I started aspiring to be a civil servant, but my financial condition was not good. So I decided to go into industry after the completion of my education. But in industry, whenever I got some success there in my endeavors, that didn't satisfy me. It always haunted me that something I left behind. And when I realized that yes, now I can concentrate on the preparation and I can fulfill the requirement of civil services, I resigned my job and I started preparation for the services. Yes.
There are many people, in fact, most of the young generation of the Muslim community particularly, they do professional courses like engineering and other courses, but and they prefer to go abroad to get some good job. They don't prefer for civil services or any job there in India. Why?
In fact, in my case, I never wanted to go outside to earn money. During college days and even after, I tried my level best to settle here. In fact, one of the reasons was that maybe I will get that comfortable time or comfortable condition from a conducive atmosphere to prepare for this exam. And at last, when I realized that being here in India, I will not be able to earn much. So in 2007, I decided and flew to Saudi Arabia, worked for 2 years and 9 months there, and in May 2010, I resigned I left my job there and came back to India and prepared for this exam.
Tell us about your educational journey from primary to this level.
In fact, all my basic education I got in my village itself. I did my primary education from BMC Maktab. That BMC is the full form of BMC is Backward Muslim Community Maktab. I studied there till 3rd class, and then I joined. I was admitted to middle school Simri, that is again a government school, and from there I joined government high school Simri, that is again nearby village, located in nearby village. And from there in 1995 I did my matriculation, and fortunately I got admission in diploma engineering there in Aligarh Muslim University. From 1995 to 2005 I remained there in Aligarh Muslim University. I did my diploma engineering, then B, and after that MBA in marketing management.
And then began your journey of works.
Then during summer training of my management, in fact my specialization in management was marketing, but during summer training I decided that I will not be suitable person for marketing. So I thought over that, and then I joined project management. So I worked here in India as a project manager, and then in Saudi Arabia as a planning engineer. Again, that is related to project management. So yes, that was in these kind of jobs you need engineering degree as well as management knowledge. So yes, that's how I.
So you stayed in Saudi Arabia for around 2 years or 3 years?
2 years and 9 months.
2 years. And then you, all of a sudden, you decided to opt for civil services. In fact, this has been your childhood ambition to go for civil services.
As I told you initially in the interview, that I aspired to be a civil servant when I was a student there in Aligarh Muslim University, but the financial condition of my family was not good. I had to take care of my brothers and as well as parents. I got an indication from family that I will not be getting financial support anymore. So I had to take care of my own expenses there and even my brother's expenses. So that was very difficult to carry on the preparation or fulfill the requirements of civil services preparation.
Tell us about your family and their economic condition.
My father is a farmer, though he worked, odd jobs, but basically he's a farmer. My mother is a housewife. My elder brother, he could not get proper education, so he could not do much to help family. My just elder to me is Imteyaz, and again he could not get good job on time. He kept preparing, and then financial burden of the family came to me, and then I decided that I will be taking care of requirement of the family, financial requirement of the family, and I did that. I took care of expenses of my younger brothers. That's why I could not prepare when I was a student there in Aligarh Muslim University. But after that, whenever I was in job, wherever I was there, this thing I told you that aspiration to be a civil servant always haunted me, that I left something behind, something unfulfilled. And the moment I got this feeling that now I can concentrate and prepare, I left my job and prepare for this exam.
Yeah. When did you decide to opt for civil services? When you were doing a good job in Saudi Arabia, when you came back here, how did you prepare for the civil services in last 2 years?
In fact, in 2009, in the month of September, I came on vacation to, and here, in fact, that was going on in mind that I will be doing something different, maybe academics or again civil services. And I came here and met a lot of people that what can I do, those well-wishers, some professors and some friends. And that was the time that I came to know that yes, again, still I have that much knowledge that will need just a consolidation of knowledge and proper channeling of those knowledge, whatever I had acquired in due course of time. I was never away from books. I always kept on reading. So this time when I came on vacation to India, I carried all those books which may be required, and I took those to Saudi Arabia. And during holidays, every day I passed time with books. I studied. My bosses there, my friends were very helpful there in my company.
We have got information that in fact you got coaching at Jamia Hamdard and Jamia Millia perhaps also.
No, and yes as well. In fact, in Jamia Hamdard, my interaction with Jamia Hamdard was
Hamdard the study circle.
Yes, that was for a very brief period of time. That was for 10 days. I went there for interview preparation. Again in Jamia Millia Islamia, I used their library facility after my mains exam. Because my brothers are students of Jamia Millia Islamia, so just I went there. So that there was only brief interaction with these institutions.
It means it was your self-study. You formally didn't join any coaching institute.
No, I could not. Yes, some professional coaching guidance I took, but I could not afford to go to these coaching institutes.
Mm-hmm.
Not in that sense as people do.
Mm-hmm. How would you suggest to the young generation, how should one prepare for civil services briefly?
As I say that success in civil services is not an event. It is a sort of process. It requires time and it requires a long period of preparation. It is not like suddenly one decides that I will appear for civil services and he starts preparation. It requires I mean, good educational background, no doubt. But in my case, as you may observe, that I studied, I did my matriculation, all those basic education I got in my village, and in Aligarh Muslim University, yes, that was the good platform I got, where there was an environment, conferences, seminars, extracurricular activities, curricular activities, all those were these things are required. So I will suggest to youngsters that whichever college you are, you should involve in all those kind of constructive type of activities, curricular, extracurricular, as well as I will suggest. In my case, I found that internet was such a valuable tool in my preparation. So internet has become an integral part of your that is the most valuable resource you can go for. Primary, that has become a sort of primary source. Why do I say that primary source? These days I found that the questions come directly from government's policies and programs, and that you can directly access to the ministry's websites. Like economy, you can download economic survey, budget, even on daily basis. I suggest to youngsters that listen to All India Radio or Doordarshan news program. If you miss that, you can go to their archives, into the website, and you can download that and you can listen to that. And one thing I would like to highlight here is that people say that I couldn't get proper education, and that is English medium education. No, that in my case, that is totally negated. I got my basic education until matriculation. I studied in Hindi medium background, and I will, it should be emphasized, and it should be told to the youngsters that no, English is just another language now. It is no more the monopoly of the elite class. It is just, but without English, it is very difficult, and it is becoming difficult day by day to clear these type of exams. So one should switch over to English language. And if it is not possible, then one should acquire good language skill, and that is very much helpful.
During preparation, you also read some particular magazines and periodicals.
As I told you, that I relied mostly on primary source, that is economic survey that is issued by government, budget, newspaper, that is the Hindu, Frontline, Yojana and Kurukshetra, All India Radio program. I was regular listener of those programs. Government's websites, ministries' websites, like Overseas Affairs Ministry, or External Affairs Ministry, or Backward Commission, or Women Commission Ministries. So these websites were very well helpful. Yes.
Mr. Imteyaz Alam, you have cleared this civil services exam in your first attempt. So any tips for interview? How to clear interview? Any tips?
Commission interviews a person for 20 to 30 minutes, and those 20 to 30 minutes they scan you, they try to understand your entire persona, your psychology, your knowledge, and your reaction and everything. So however and whatever a person is, it is reflected during those days, as I realized it during my interview. They pose a lot of questions, from different angle, from different perspective. One must have balanced view. And here I will suggest to youngsters that one should try to understand the essence of our constitution, the preamble. Like, what is the idea of India? India is a socialist, republic, democratic, secular country. So the ethos of these words, in fact, the preamble is really it gives an essence of the constitution. So one must understand these things, and it is not like being artificial during that period of interview. If one understands these things, one can handle those questions very easily. It is not that one has to answer each and every question correctly, but one must be honest. One must the integrity, honesty, these things do matter there during interviews, and yes, that helped me, I think.
Right. You didn't stay there for a long time, neither at Jamia Millia nor at Hamdard Study Circle. Yet, did you find any shortcomings there at Hamdard Study Circle or Jamia Millia?
Just one message, very humbly I will try to convey, is that they should not try to make them realize, those students who stay there, that it is a favor, a sort of favor for them. No. मैं इनको इस बात को अगर उर्दू में कहूँ तो कि आप एहसान नहीं कर रहे हैं इन लोगों के ऊपर अगर ये वहाँ आपके यहाँ से कोचिंग एंड गाइडेंस ले रहे हैं, इतने मुश्किल इम्तिहान की तैयारी के लिए ये वहाँ जाते हैं. आप इनको ऐसा लगे कि ये स्पेशल नहीं तो है, कुछ अहम है ये लोग जो इतने एडवर्सिटी से और से मुश्किलात से लड़कर वहां तक पहुंचे हैं. तो इनको आप प्लीज कीप देम एट ईज.
Right. Mr. Imteyaz, in fact, it is said that despite a number of coaching institutes that have come up in the last 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, yet the presence or share of Muslims in civil services is just around 3%. You can take the example of this year also. Out of 910 successful candidates, there are just 30 Muslims. That is around 3%. So, in your view, what could be the ways to increase the presence or share of Muslims in civil services?
I look at this issue from different perspective. Like if you scan or if you look at the figure of successful candidates, you will find that more number of successful people are coming from cities or those privileged class. So the decreasing number of Muslims, it is because of their backwardness, their economic backwardness, more than other religious angle or other things. So there is a need of awareness amongst Muslims that they should prepare for civil services more in number. Their participation, though I don't have exact figure how many of Muslim students appear in preliminary exam, but their number in preliminary stage itself is very less. So how they can come in large number in finally? So there should be more coaching and guidance centers in small districts, town and villages. So this can help to bring an awareness amongst Muslims, and also there is a need for coaching and guidance center in those areas where Muslims are more in number. And yes, it is. I'm happy that there are NGOs, civil society organizations. They are trying their level best. They are opening centers to help.
You have lived 32 years of your life. So today, do you feel the most difficult part or difficult time or difficult phase of your life when you had taken some different decision, you would not be there where you are right now?
Yes, there were difficult moments of my life. I had cleared MBA competition for MBA course of Aligarh, and within 3-4 months it had become very difficult for me to stay there in Aligarh because of my financial condition. And in fact, I had left my MBA program. I came to Delhi, and again after passing 10 to 15 days, I took a difficult decision and went back to Aligarh and fought those adversity and continued and completed MBA. When I was there in Saudi Arabia, I was getting handsome salary. I was, I had got a good position there in company, and they had offered me that okay, don't go, don't resign, and we will fulfill all your needs and your requests. But I decided that I should resign this job, I should appear for this civil services exam, and I came back, and fortunately in first attempt I could clear, though it is my rank is not impressive, but yes, I was fortunate that I am a successful candidate.
Good. In last 32 years, what could have been your source of inspiration? Your source of inspiration?
Yes, there were so many people in my village. Earlier, one of my villager, he did his engineering from Aligarh, and then he went to United States. Javed Iqbal, he did MTech from Aligarh, and he was a source of inspiration for me. In fact, in my case, my elder brother, Imteyaz, he didn't do well in education, but he was a source of inspiration in the sense that he always guided me. Wherever he made mistake, he could help me in not repeating that. Yes, you get source of inspiration from people, and for me, source of inspiration were again the great people, those people who fought odds. For example, Ambedkar. For example, all those freedom fighters who fought against odds and successfully liberated country. So yes, those were people that they were economically good, but still they fought odds. So these those were the source of inspiration.
Right. You have got 649 ranks, 649 ranks among 910 successful candidates. So, which kind of job you would get among IAS or IFS or IRS, like IPS?
Yes, as per the data available till last year, till 680th rank in OBC category, people got IRS, Custom and Excise. I am sure that I will get that.
Oh, that's fine. Congratulations. Your last message to the young generation of the Muslim community, particularly.
My message to the youngsters will be that believe in yourself, and I will quote a couplet from Allama Iqbal's poetry that always inspired me. Since 9th class, this शेर has been guiding me. खिरत बंदों से क्या पूछूं, मेरी इब्तिदा क्या है, मैं इस फिक्र में रहता हूँ, मेरी इंतहा क्या है.
Thank you.